Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Una Duncan, and we are doing something a little different today. A while ago, someone left me a speak pipe message saying that she would love to hear more stories from just real, everyday people who have had a meaningful transformation. And to be honest, I wasn't sure that that would work. But I thought, okay, let's give it a go. So I put the word out to my Masters of Fitness Awesomeness members. And today I had my first interview with Tara Bohle of Edmonton, Alberta. And dude, it kind of blew my mind. In this interview, you'll hear the one moment that flipped the switch for Tara's transformation, how she built healthy habits while homeschooling 3 kids and taking care of a baby. Also, the mindset shifts that ended her guilt, shame, start over cycle for good, and how all of these changes sparked basically a whole new life. You are going to love this.
Breaking news. Your dream life isn't going to happen because you made a vision board. You're going to need goals, grit, and some woo-woo shit. This podcast is about getting clarity on what you want, having the grit to do the actual work, and most importantly, constantly training your brain to be your bitch. Ready to be inspired? Here is your host, best-selling author, Una Duncan.
All right, we got Tara Bohle here. Tara, thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
I want you to paint a little bit of a picture about your situation before, because I know this is all about your transformation. So let's start with where you started. Take us back to the before times. What was life like then?
The before times, I homeschooled my 3 children and I had like a baby. So she was pretty busy, started moving and walking and climbing at 10 months. So I was feeling pretty overwhelmed. All my time and energy went into that. And the evenings were like watching TV and eating a bag of chips every night. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like my husband and I back then would crush a large bag of chips a few times a week. So just, crashing on the couch, passing out, having no energy. He would take my kids cross-country skiing or to the pool and do a lot of things, but I would just be so exhausted that I would always stay home. So I feel like I really missed out a lot. So that's kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is so understandable. I can picture that if that is your life, then you maybe don't feel like doing a lot of burpees. Am I right?
Yeah. I don't feel like doing a lot of anything, really.
Yeah, that's fair. You had said that you felt like you lost yourself. Was there a part that felt particularly buried or forgotten?
Yeah, it's interesting because when we were first married, I met a mom who had 3 kids at the time, and she was talking to me how she felt like she lost herself. And I was like, what is she talking about? And then I talked to my husband after. I'm like, I'm never going to be like that. But, a decade, 2 decades into having kids, you do lose yourself. You stop doing anything for yourself, and you're constantly putting all your love and energy into your children, which is not wrong. But I think it is wrong to not put yourself on the scale at all. It's like I didn't put myself first or second or third, like I wasn't even on there. So I kind of lost myself. I used to have dreams and aspirations and hobbies. I really loved to dance. I've always loved to dance. I've always been interested in singing and taking singing lessons, but always been a bit too nervous too, and things like that. And so I kind of lost all those things. And I knew that it happened when I told Sean, my husband, I'm like, I have to get out of the house. Like, I need to do something. And he's like, okay. Or he was encouraging me to go. He's like, you need to get out. And I was like, where do I even go? What do I even do? Because sometimes, like, I have a lot of friends and we'd have a lot of girls' nights, but sometimes I just want to do something for me or be alone. And I started by just going to the library by myself just to read or write or be in my thoughts. And all I could hear was the hum of the heater. And I loved it.
Oh my gosh, with 4 kids at home, I guess so. That must have been bliss.
Yeah.
I remember my first vacation, or not even vacation, it was just like a business trip. But the first time I flew on a plane without my kids, I remember getting in the seat and I was like, we don't even need to leave the tarmac. I am so happy right now, just sitting in the seat reading,
Yeah.
watching a movie by myself. It's amazing.
I hear
Yeah.
that. You're like, I've got hours to do anything I want. Yeah.
Oh, it was bliss for sure. So at the time, so you're homeschooling all day. You're also taking care of a baby. By the time your husband gets home, you eat dinner and then you flop on the couch, you eat chips. And so, I mean, obviously, you're probably not feeling super confident and energetic at this point. What were some ripple effects of that being the life that you were living at the time? And the fact that you felt like you had forgotten
Yeah.
your dreams and aspirations?
I just felt down a lot. I really had a lot of negative self-talk. Like, look what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything with my time. I'm wasting my life. And then my kids, my son would always say, oh, I can't remember what he'd say, but he'd make a comment, my older son, that I always watch TV. He's like, you always get to watch shows. Like, you always do that. And I thought, ooh, this is what they're seeing. All they see is me run around all day, and then when I have a minute, all I do is sit on my phone, sit and watch TV, and put a bunch of garbage into my mouth. So that kind of hit me. I thought, I don't love what I'm leaving for them,
Yeah, I get that. I had a similar moment once when, in my defense, I was checking like the swimming schedule or something, but I was on my phone and my son, who was 4 at the time, smacked it out of my hand and said, "Mom, there's nothing in there." And I
Oh,
was like, "Oh,
yeah. Hits
oh
the
gosh,
heart
he sees me.
sometimes what they
It hurt."
say. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Out of the mouths of babes. All right, so that sounds like a moment when your son said that. Was that a catalyst moment for you? Or did you have a catalyst moment when you were like, "All right, that's it. Something needs to change," or was it a slow creep?
No, I feel like it was a catalyst moment because I was just feeling so crappy. I was missing out on life. I didn't have energy to go out or do anything with my family, all the fun things. I did all the have to things like cook and take care of them and laundry and all that. And then I was just on, I was probably watching a show, also scrolling on my phone. And I don't know if you want to go there yet, but I came across your ad.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, that was the catalyst moment because I thought, that's it. Like, I've had enough of this, And then I came across your ad for Fit Feels Good. And I liked the title, first of all. And it didn't hit me. Other ads hit you and they just make you feel bad about yourself. You got a hot woman, she's 20. I mean, I had a hot body when I was 20. I was not fit. I did not exercise ever. So I could have made that ad and I just don't believe them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
look like me? I'm like, I've been there.
I did look like you.
You could just
bitch.
eat garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like those ones where they're like, just do this for 10 days and everything's better. Yours was an information session, I think, about hormones and perimenopause, menopause. And then I went and it was really great information and just everything that you promised, more energy, no brain fog. And this is what I wanted because I thought, enough of this. Because also you lose yourself because when you have no brain capacity, you just have a foggy brain and you have no energy, you can't even think. I don't know how to describe it, but your brain isn't working very well. So,
You know what I
yeah.
find when I get to that state, and actually I have a friend who, my lovely friend, lost 3 people last week. And she was reporting to me like, I cannot concentrate at work. I'm whatever. And I was like, of course you can't. And for me, I know that I'm getting in that state when I can't make decisions. If someone says, "What do you want for dinner?" And you're like, "I don't even know. I can't make the simplest decision." And then I know I'm like, okay, I'm in overwhelm right now and I need to come back to myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So you signed up for my webinar, and I got to say, there's the internet marketer in me that is fist pumping so hard because that is what I picture. Tara, this is what I picture when I am designing things. I'm like, who do I want to reach? And I picture exactly that. A wonderful mom who's on the couch being like, "Oh, I feel like crap and I don't even know how to fix it." And so anyway, I just love, love, love that actually did reach you. That makes me so happy. So you watched the webinar. I'm assuming you signed up for the program at the end of the webinar. Is that what happened?
I did the
So
28-day transformation.
yes. And so to get to that moment though, like you already mentioned a little bit of this cynicism of like, yes, I had been targeted by 1,000 gazillion things like this already. To make that leap of like, I'm going to do this, there must have been 1,000 thoughts going through your head of, I don't have time for this. My family's not going to eat this food. I've tried things before. Like, tell me about all of the fears and the stories that you had to let go of in order to take that first step.
I knew I was very committed. I have a loving family. I have a lot of I have a sibling and mom and dad and grandmas and stuff. And they're doing okay, but they're not super healthy. That's not how I want to be when I'm 60 or so on. And so my why was very strong for me when I was like, that's it. Like, I've had enough. I want to be active now. I want to go swimming and go skiing with my family. I don't want to miss out. And when they have kids, I want to do stuff with them. I want to have the energy to take them to the playground and to chase them if they run away from me, because kids do that. And so my why was very strong. But yeah, I looked up your program, and the first 2 days was rough. I was like, well, that's a lot of vegetables. And, I'm eating maybe a carrot once in a while. And I looked at a lot of it, and I love to cook. The thing with me is I really love food, and I love to cook all types of food. And so I was excited to try all the recipes. I thought they looked really good, but I did know, okay, all this 10 pounds of veggies or more is just for me. I'm getting my kids to eat salads. I'm going to put them out, but I knew there were some things they wouldn't eat, but I tried to tweak it for them. So I didn't really go in thinking I'm going to eat this, they're going to eat that, when I really knew it wasn't something they would try. They're really good at trying new foods and such. Then I had a backup plan. I'm like, I'm going to add rice. I'm going to throw in some whatever, Jane's
super
chicken
cheese.
fingers, stuff like that. But I'm always like, at least just try a bite, So that was definitely a fear. And my husband, because I feel like you need support when that happens. And sometimes it's hard when everyone around you is eating a different way. And it is hard. It was hard. I got rid of a lot of the crap. I left goldfish because those aren't tempting to me at all. Or gross Rice Krispies.
For some moms, that is the thing, though, right?
But
the
you got to get rid
of
what's tempting for you. And I thought, I don't care about Rice Krispies, so I left those. I don't care about goldfish. But I actually told my mom and my husband to hide the chocolate and chips. I said, you can have chips, but you have to hide them. I can't see them. I can't open the pantry and see them. I think he put them in the garage in a bucket. My mom hid the chocolates in her room. And at one point I was asking her for them. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm allowed. I just want one. So they supported me like that. They took it seriously, and they did those things. As I said, it will be really hard for me to do this for myself if all of those things are around. And my husband also is not picky. He'll eat whatever I make. So that was nice. He was eating the meals with me.
That's great. I love hearing how people get their families on board, because you are 1,000% right. If you don't have family support, if your family's like, oh, do we have to eat all these vegetables? And come on, or to have a glass of wine with me at the end of the meal, all that sort of stuff, that is really hard to overcome. Did you talk to your kids, and how do you think you got everyone on board? Did you tell them how important this was to you, or do you remember a bit about your kind of speech there?
Yeah, I kind of was like, so what do I do? What do you guys see me do? And they're like, you love the grocery store. That's what my little girl always thought. You love going grocery shopping, and you love to watch shows, and you love chips. So they gave me those kind of answers. And I said, and sometimes when you guys ask me why I'm not coming, when you go out, and it's because I'm tired. And I was explaining to them that I was doing this for more energy, because I don't want to be tired anymore. I said, being a mom is hard, but it doesn't have to look like this. It doesn't have to be being tired and checking out on life after 5 o'clock. And so I just talked to them about how you eat. I've always been into nutrition, and it's not like I ate really, really bad. And for my whole life, I'd go through, I'd have a health boost and then, go down and stuff. And so I told them that the food you eat makes all the difference in how you feel. And I said, I need to change how I'm starting to eat, and eating more salads, eating no processed foods unless I have to, and just making better choices. And they thought it was great. At first they're like, oh, you have to get rid of all the stuff, and we don't have any. And I didn't, because I didn't want to make it extreme for them, because I knew if I got rid of everything, then they would resent it. And I didn't want that. So I just had to talk to them about, I was doing it to have energy so I could spend more time and give more my like true self to them. And just because we've talked about health, I want them to be healthy too, right? I want them to live their best life, and you set yourself up when you're a teen, right? Really. So
Tara, I love that. I love that you said, what do you see me do? And you know what? That's not who I am. And this is who I want to be. And I'm going to have to make these changes. I think that's amazing. So you said that you loved cooking. So obviously the cooking wasn't a huge stretch for you. What were the very first habits that made the biggest difference right off the bat?
I think one of them was going to bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you did the revenge procrastination, staying up late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought if I sit on that couch at all, the habit of I need to snack is going to kick in. So I would get my like chai cinnamon tea and drink it in bed and read a book. Because we don't have a TV in our room, and I don't like watch TV on my phone or whatever. So I did that. So that was good. Just making sure I got to bed instead of hanging around and even turning on the TV. But also the meal prep was really important because I'm busy. People are busy. And the thought of maybe even if you love the dish, if you know it has all these steps, you're not going to do it. I'm like, well, I can easily just boil a box of macaroni or, just eat a pepperoni stick or whatever. So the meal prep was huge because then I thought, oh, everything's already chopped. I just have to saute it and add a few things. Yeah. So that was a great one.
Tara, I'll tell you the thing that's blowing my mind a little bit is that you still had the same circumstances. You still had 3 kids and a baby and were homeschooling and were tired. So I'm like, where did you get the mental bandwidth to take on a new challenge? I know you had a really strong why, so maybe that's just the answer. But I'm also wondering, because a lot of people would say, I don't have the time, for the workouts and the meal prep. So what would you answer to someone who says, I don't have the time?
You have to make the time. You have to force it in there, because I said that all the time too, that I don't have time. And people tell themselves that, but secretly, deep down, they know there's things that can replace your time. So we all have the same amount of time in one day. Someone can be super productive and someone can be not very productive. And so I thought it just has to replace time. Me spending extra long on my hair and scrolling Facebook for 10, 15 minutes, my workout's going to replace that. And that's already like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I just, as soon as I woke up, I did what you suggested, lay your stuff out so you see it and you're like, yeah, I still do that. Put it on and then I go and I do it first thing.
And this is 3 years you've been doing that, laying out your clothes beforehand.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So how did your habits around food change? You did the prep in advance, and how did your thinking around food change? So, and I don't know if this is for you, but a lot of times when people who have the kind of days that you had, and they sit down at the end of the day and they get their chips and they're like, fuck you, this is my treat. I deserve this. Was that the thought beforehand?
Yeah.
Am I reading your mind?
Yeah. Like I can do what I want. I deserve this. Mm-hmm. But really, when I thought of it, I deserve what exactly, right? Do I deserve getting fat? Do I deserve gaining weight? Do I deserve feeling lethargic all day? And so I started looking at like that. What is it actually giving me when I eat a bag of chips? I don't feel good after, like mentally and physically. You feel like shit because you did it. And then you also your stomach feels bad, especially if it's late. And so all these things that I used to indulge in or eat a lot of, I would just say, what is it giving me? And especially when I was alone, I thought it's one thing, like you have the treat meal worked in, which I love. I was like, I can do anything for 4 days. If I know a treat meal's coming, like I wanted all the cheese and all the chocolate. But yeah, so I thought when I'm doing it alone, it just seems worse. Now, if you're at a birthday party and you have a handful of chips or you're enjoying cake, it's because you're part of a celebration or someone. I wanted to save those things. If someone's bringing me apple muffins or some desserts, I want to be grateful and eat it. So, but eating just processed garbage by myself on the couch was just, I don't know.
Just as a bit of a screw you, I can do this if I want to moment.
Yeah, but I thought, but I don't want to.
But you don't.
Yeah.
Totally. I don't think I've ever really had that about food too much, but I definitely had it about cigarettes. And I had an epiphany when I realized the best moment of the cigarette is the moment that I give myself permission to have it. The actual cigarette, I'm
Yes.
actually not enjoying that much. It's the
Yes.
moment that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
And I think that was in your book too. The mindset is huge. And I think
Mhm.
that's what you offered. That was a game changer because no one talks about mindset. They're all just like, work out and eat these things. And it's like, you only have push motivation for so long. You can only force yourself to do something for so long, right? But you worked mindset in there where you thought there's no falling off the wagon. It's not, oh, I had cake and chips and pop. That's it for the weekend. Like I used to think like that because I learned it from my mom and my grandma, right? I used to think, oh, this is when I'm going to eat healthy. It starts Monday, but like every second you have a choice, it starts now. Maybe I just ate like half of an ice cream cake. Well, it starts now. My next meal is going to be good. And I think it takes up so much mental capacity when you're having those thoughts of you're arguing in your head. Do I have it? Do I not? Oh, I feel guilty. Now look what you did. It's like, just drop all that BS, like you say, and just have the damn cake if you want it, have the chips, and that's okay, and then just move on and do better next. Because I think when you go into the spiral of, oh, this is bad, now all my meals are going to be bad, you're giving yourself permission to just eat like crap for 4 days, and then it will be even harder and you'll feel even worse. So
Totally.
the mindset
Is that all or nothing
is great.
mentality?
Yeah, no such thing.
It's true. So how did you ever have one of those moments? Is the ice cream cake, is that an actual moment that happened where you had
Oh my
the ice
gosh,
cream
no,
cake?
I don't think I could eat a half of one. I could eat half a pizza cake. Yeah, I did. So we have like a lot of birthdays. There's Valentine's, and we always have fondue. That's a tradition. So all the cheese and all the chocolate. And now with your program, I also like, because you talk about gathering data, which other people don't bring in. I've tried so many programs, just so you know. You also taught, you're a scientist on yourself. It's like, you can hear people say, oh, gluten bothers me or dairy bothers me. Are you just going to accept that? Or are you going to actually figure out, does it actually bother me? What symptoms do I get? Let's figure it out. And so I did realize too much dairy does hurt my stomach, because after I wanted the treat meal and I wanted lasagna, I just wanted cheese on everything, like lasagna and cheese toast. And my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, just all the cheese. And I felt so bad after.
Dude.
And so when I'm okay if I eat some, but if I eat a lot, I don't feel great. And so we had fondue, which is so much cheese and so much chocolate, but it's like it's a family tradition. And I was looking forward to it. And it doesn't mean I had to eat that much. I could still eat some, but I didn't have to eat that much of it. And so there was a moment like that. And I just loved how after I ate it, I thought, that was a really good meal. And it wasn't my treat meal because I already had one, but I thought that was okay. And then tomorrow it's a new day. It's a new meal. And so, yeah, I didn't go, uh-oh, that was really, really bad. Because then it's all in your head. Just get out of your head.
Nothing but salads for the next 4 days and make up for it and all that stuff. And
I hear
that is
that
just
all
a
the
nonsense
time.
spiral.
I need to diet. What am I supposed to do? Just eat salad? It's like, do you know how much healthy foods there are? And there's a lot of good salads. But like, you don't just got to eat vegetables to be healthy.
Right?
So,
Yeah. Okay. So what was starting to happen? So as you're going through these changes, you're having little mindset shifts. You realize that the chip treat isn't feeling like so much of a treat. You're starting to go to bed earlier. And so what was happening? Were you noticing energy improving? What? Tell us.
The first week was hard. I'm not going to lie. I specifically remember coming off of sugar. I think like when I detox my kids off screens, they just go crazy, like for real. For 4 days, it's really hard. They'll lay there and be like, what do I do? And I'm like, you can stare at the wall. I don't know. I was like that. I was like cold. I was grumpy. I was like so mad. And then I was like crying one day. And then after that, I think that was day 5. After that, it was like a whole new me. I was
Angels.
like, oh my gosh, I have no brain fog. I had so much energy. I was looking forward to my workout and playing with my kids. And my kids were like drawn to me. Like they always want to be around me, but they were doing workouts with me and they thought you're a machine. They're like, she's still going. I'm like, I know, man. I don't know how, like with bench dips and all this stuff. So that was good. They were seeing the improvements. A few weeks in, my daughter, they're like, what's your mom's favorite dish or meal? And they're like, salad. And I thought, what? But I thought, oh, that's cool because they see me eat a lot of salad. And so I just was having more energy. And then a big thing, I guess, was I thought, I miss dance. I'm going to go into belly dancing. I don't even remember how I came across it. And also the singing, I thought I've always wanted singing lessons. Like I'm doing it. And so I searched it up and I wanted my kids to learn piano too, but I thought, why don't I also learn piano? I've always been interested in that. So I just had more brain space once I dropped all the arguments, just being in my head, feeling bad about myself, about how I ate. I think when you get rid of that, there's just so much more room for other stuff, energy for other things.
I agree. And so just out of curiosity, how long had you been practicing these healthy habits before you started to look into the dancing and the singing? And
I think only maybe like 3 weeks. Honestly, it really wasn't very long. Yeah. Where I just started thinking,
right there.
Hey,
it was right under the surface.
Yeah. And Sean's like, you want to go out? I was like, I do want to go out. I want to go out weekly and I'm going to find a dance class to go to weekly. So yeah.
I love it. Okay. So you're on a roll and then you broke your foot.
Yeah.
And so for most people, or for a lot of people, that would derail them. How did you not lose momentum?
In my head, I was like, this is it. I'm going to lose all my gains. But I thought, no, I'm staying positive. I said, look at all the strong people I've seen in wheelchairs playing sports. They're at the gym. They're lifting weights. I thought it's just one foot. I can still, first of all, I got super strong with crutches. My husband and I had our anniversary and we went to Vancouver and I crutched around that city every day for hours, like up and down hills. I know the first day, actually, we went back and took a nap and then I woke up and I turned, I was like, oh, my back, all the muscles that I didn't realize were there. I just refused to. I thought I did a lot of work. I'm not restarting. I still have my habits. I was still eating good. And I feel like when you eat well, you're more likely to make better, like healthier choices. I feel the same about exercise too. I actually found chair exercises in the group. There was, I believe it's Katie. Someone was listing
our
things
physiotherapist.
That I could do. And so everything's on YouTube. There were so many things, exercise in a chair. And so I continued to do that and to eat healthy and, hobble around on crutches and stuff. So
I am so impressed. That is amazing. What surprised you most that changed that you weren't even trying to change? You were trying to change your energy. You were trying to change the way your kids perceived you. What else changed that you were like, well, didn't expect that?
I think the way I perceived myself and just when I started singing and dancing, like I didn't ever think exercising and changing how I ate would give me that part of my life, like being able to go out there and be confident to dance and to sing in front of someone else and make music and record my songs. Like I never thought of that at all. I thought I'm just going to have more energy and not miss swimming. Generally what I was going for. So it gave me like so much more.
Well, Tara, tell us about that. You're publishing your songs on Spotify now. Like, where's this gone to with the singing and dancing?
Yeah, so it's just been a few years. I started with singing, and I was really embarrassed to sing in front of my instructor. Like he would laugh. I was like, do I have to? He's like, well, it is singing lessons. I'm like, that's true. So it took me a while to warm up, and then. As I was learning piano, and then I started learning guitar a bit, which was really hard. I wanted to know everything about music. And I'm like, it'd be so cool to write a song. And he's like, why don't you write a song? And I was like, I can't write a song. I'm not a singer. I'm not, and all the excuses, right? And he's like, well, I wasn't before I wrote one. He's like, the first thing you do is just try. He's like, no one knows how to, you just try, you just do. And so I did. And I started with like a little piano thing, and then melodies just started coming to me the more I did music. And so now I'm slowly learning production as well.
Wow.
So that's
That's
that's been
awesome.
really
That is
fun.
awesome. Is there, other than the singing and the dancing and the incredible resilience when you broke your foot and you're resourceful and you're figuring out how to do it, is there any other way that Tara 2.0 is different than the old version?
Yeah, so different. I'm happier. So I eat better, I move my body, and I'm just happier. I'm more full of energy. We have dance parties. Now when I go to the playground, I play with my kids, or I'll do little like workouts, or I'll do the monkey bars with them, which I never used to do that because I felt like they're ripping out my arms. But now I can, which makes me very proud. When I took my little girl to gymnastics, I would, instead of just being on my phone and letting her do her thing, I would go play with her and try the equipment as well. And so I'm always looking for new ways to challenge my body and new things to do. So I did dance. I tried pole dancing as well, which is, you got to be crazy strong to do those lifts and spins. It's really cool. It's a workout. And I did kickboxing. And so I was just excited to move my body in all the different ways I could.
And just live in your body.
Yeah.
Terry, I know that you are religious. How has your
Mhm.
sense of faith or purpose played into what you've been able to accomplish here?
I feel like God has, I believe that He has a plan and a path for us. And sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and so we don't stick to that path or that plan. We deviate, or we sell ourselves short, or we think, I'm not good enough, or I'm not qualified. Which is what I thought with dancing and singing. I can't be in the front, because she would stick me in the front. My first performance, the front middle, I was like, I can't do that. I've only been dancing for 2 months. What about all these other people? And you doubt yourself. Or the singing, I thought, I can't sing. People won't like my voice. Like, I didn't even know if I liked it. And so, but I realized God, He believes in me, and He's already qualified me. He gave me my spirit. I am who I am. I don't need, I think I recently heard this from Trent Shelton, which I really like. He's an amazing motivational speaker. And he said, God's already qualified you. You don't need man to qualify you. So like, what you tripping on? And I thought, ooh, I love that, because it's so true. We think, oh, what if they think this? But it's like, He already knows our best. He knows our potential. And so we don't need to doubt ourselves. Life is hard enough. You know what I mean? I think we just need to believe in ourselves. And if there's something we really want to do, we know what that is, and we should try it. And it's okay if the people around us, because it was hard. Like, my family doesn't eat like this, extended family. And, me exercising whenever we'd travel, I'd bring my bands and I'd make a space. And I thought, whatever, this is what I do. You can't let those things stop you. And it's okay. And it's not like people hopefully aren't being mean. They just don't know that you yet. They haven't met that you. So it's new to them, and it's different. So I try and view it as they're not trying to bring me down or be negative. They just don't know that me yet. So you gotta, but I know me, and I know what I do. And so you just gotta keep doing it until they know too.
I love that. They just don't know that you yet. And you just have to keep on being that you until they get to know that you. I love that. Terry, you've also said that at any given moment, only a choice stands in the way of a new trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I can think of so many times where if there was one choice I could have made and things could have worked out better, or I could have done better, but I chose to hold back, or I chose to be nervous instead of giving it my all. Like me on the couch, that click, I've told everyone in my whole life when I joined your program like that, and I still do. I'm like, that is the best thing I've ever clicked on Facebook. That was the best click. That was one choice. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I could just think, it's just another program and I don't want to. But that was one choice where I thought, this is enough. And I thought, I'll go through all the programs till I find one that works. That was that's one choice. And I chose that. Same with the singing. When I had to sing, I thought, well, I'm here. I can either choose to sing because I chose to have the lessons, or I can hold back and be afraid. And the times when I did fully hold back, I always regretted it after. So I feel like when you're, when you know what you want and you can align your choices with what you want, you just know like it's true and right for you. And so I try and really listen to that, which is hard because I feel like, I don't know, a lot of times we just want to be what other people think or want from us. And so there's a choice we want to make, but we don't make it because we're afraid of how people view us, or maybe we think we'll lose someone. But I think if you know what you really want, then, and a choice comes up for you to make that change, like say someone's listening to this podcast who's thinking of, I don't know, exercising or changing their life. And it's like they already know, they already said, ooh, this is a choice. Maybe I'm going to look into that program, or maybe not. Like there's a choice that you have. And if I didn't click on that link to that educational webinar and then join the program, who knows? I could be 20 pounds heavier. I could be able to brag about binging all the shows on Netflix. Like I could have gone down that path, but instead I made a choice that has set me on just the greatest path, I think.
Tara, I love that. And if you could speak to anyone who's listening to this who is absolutely overwhelmed, who has the same worldview that maybe you did at some point with, I have 4 kids, I'm homeschooling, I am exhausted, I cannot see a way out of this. What would you say to that person right now?
Ooh, lots of friends are in this boat. And I say, you don't need to know everything, because sometimes thinking of everything you want to change is overwhelming. But I say, start small, start with one little thing. Like maybe just get outside of your house, do one little thing for yourself every week, whether that's going for a walk in your favorite area of your city, or going to the library like I did just for some quiet. But I would say putting yourself first isn't selfish. It's the whole oxygen mask that everyone's heard on the plane. You got to put yours on first, then you got to help others. Otherwise, you don't have patience for them. You don't have even patience for yourself. And so I would say make sure you got to fight to put yourself there, but you got to fight to put yourself first or second. Sometimes it can't always be first. And just do something small for yourself to start, or make a small change, because it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it can be, because I'm a planner and organizer, and I think I got to do all these things at the same time. And then I think, oh, screw it, it's too much. And then I don't do anything. So I would say pick one thing. Maybe you just want to go to bed earlier instead of turning on that TV. So yeah, I think just start small and make sure to put yourself first.
That is wisdom. I love it. Tara, you have given it so much. I'm so honored that you came on the show. I'm so honored that you did click on my freaking ad. Oh, dude. And thank you. I have no idea how amazing it is to hear about the ripple effect this has had in your life. And to hear you say all these things that I'm like, do these things, guys. And I don't know if anyone's listening, but then you're like, no, I did the thing and it worked.
Oh,
yeah. Like, oh, yes. Yeah. That makes me so happy.
You got the knowledge. So I didn't have it. So I'm like, she has it. I'm going to trust her.
I'm so happy. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your amazing wisdom with I know this podcast is going to be so helpful for people. So it was an act of generosity of you coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Dude, I honestly didn't even know if these interviews with my MFA members would work. I was worried that they would come off as salesy or maybe be a bit boring, but I loved that interview with Tara. I think Tara dropped some serious wisdom there. Okay, so here are some of my favorite moments. When she said, I didn't need to overhaul my life. I just needed to go to bed instead of the couch. Like just that smallest little habit to get momentum. Also, when she said, God's already qualified you. You don't need anyone else to. That is such a beautiful reframe for when we are doubting our own abilities. And I loved when she said, I realized I don't deserve the chips. I deserve energy. confidence, and joy. That is such a good mantra for people who get those rebellious, I deserve a treat thoughts, which is so common, understandably. And when she said, I asked my kids, what do you see me do? And they responded, chips and TV. And I realized that's not who I wanted to be. That is such a relatable wake up moment when you see yourself through your kids' eyes. And you know what? Maybe my favorite moment, though, was when she said, other people just don't know that version of you yet, which is such a great reminder to keep showing up as the version of you that you want to be until the rest of the world wakes the fuck up and realizes who you the fuck are. Now, I would love to hear from you. Do you like this kind of interview with a real quote unquote person who had a transformation type thing? Let me know by hitting the SpeakPipe link below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you know anyone who could relate to where Tara was, exhausted on the couch after a long day with kids, oh my gosh, send them this episode so they can hear what Tara has to say. All right, until next week. Hey dude, thanks for listening. If you like this episode, make sure you're subscribed so you can get the next one. And by the way, if you rate and review this podcast, it really helps me get found by other people who need some goals, grit, and some woo-woo shit. And be sure to connect and DM me at Una Duncan on Instagram and let me know what you thought of the episode. Chat soon.